In this morning's medical alert, nicotine pouches continue exploding in popularity as a smokeless and tobacco-free alternative. In this morning's consumer alert, while home buyers seem to have an advantage in the housing market these days, renting may actually be the smarter move. Well, when you plan an overseas vacation, you probably don't think about having a medical emergency. A new from overnight, it was announced an airstrike on a meeting of the country's defense council killed Iran's army chief of staff and defense minister, as well as the head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. We begin with breaking news out of Washington. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has died. Host Kristen Welker joining us live from Washington, D.C. this morning. And Kristen, just shocking news from overnight. You spoke with Senator Graham just last week. Good morning to you, and can you give your thoughts on his passing? We continue following breaking news this morning. Crews are on the scene of a house fire in North Baltimore. You are taking a live look right now at that scene along Somerset Road. Firefighters still up on ladders. The last time we saw them, they were venting the roof. Now you can see them still there with a saw in hand, still trying to get some of the fire out of those trusses. And let's talk about the congressional approval or lack thereof in this situation. What are your thoughts on that, and what are you hearing from your colleagues in Congress? Well, the Orioles enjoyed a perfect start to the spring training schedule. A win over the Yankees on Friday, a strong start by Trevor Rogers, and the first of hopefully many home runs from Pete Alonso. But the second game of the spring didn't go so well. There had been a major push to call 311 if you needed your street widened or if you needed your street plowed, and they have been given time frames of some of that, like, okay, we'll be out in 24 hours, which was surprising. But many of those calls have not been answered yet. What are you telling people who are getting frustrated with waiting? It happened at East Baltimore Street and Guilford Avenue Saturday afternoon. No one was hurt, but the fire did cause several road closures and traffic congestion. 11 News reporter Brianna Ross has been there all morning, and you just got an update from BGE. What are they saying now? And Jackie, you mentioned a big part of this feud is over President Trump's so-called big beautiful bill in Congress. So how are lawmakers reacting to all of this? No excuses in the gym.
That's it right there.
Okay, how many of these are we doing?
So we're doing 3 rounds of 45 seconds.
Oh my goodness, what a character we have here. How are you guys doing on space right now?
Like many other shelters, we're very, very full.
We think so much about our pets and things during 4th of July and all the booms and making sure that they're stress and anxiety free, that sometimes we forget about children and even adults with sensory issues.
Exactly.
And look at these little mittens.
Yes.
You got little white socks on you. Oh my gosh. Look, having a kitten is all fun, but it is not all games, okay? Sometimes it does take a little bit of getting used to because they can get into mischief.
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to put some ice in a shaker,
I've got 30 seconds
do it in the
to
tall
make this
one,
happen.
and then let's do half the rum chata, we'll do half the vodka, we'll do half the iced coffee, and then just mix it up
cooking show.
and be ready
I know.
to go.
I feel like the challenge is on. Half, half, and I'm shaking.
Shake it up.
I don't know if I can do this part. If we get splashed, glad the show's almost over. Oh, look, I did it.
Okay.
All right. Dalencia,
Yep.
what's the weather word today?
Weather word today, we got some storms on the way, so be safe later into this afternoon.
All right. Bam, we did it. We are standing as close as anyone's gotten to the edge of the Key Bridge since the collapse, and you can see that thick black smoke billowing out of the top of the building, the flames still coming out of the second floor. Still lots of firefighters here on scene. I can see the battalion chief there giving commands. Baltimore County teachers rallying outside of an elementary school this morning, demanding the district keep their deal on higher wages. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. That's just leading up to Preakness, right? So we are at Guinness Open Gate Brewery in Halethorpe, and this is where the Preakness post-position draw will be held tonight. Amazon Prime Day starts today, but before drivers can deliver your packages, they have to go through training first. So I'm going to do it and see if I pass the test. Was there any mayday? Has there been any preliminary indication of a malfunction or an emergency on board? And he said no. They all stood here on the South Causeway where demolition has been underway for the last 3 weeks. Work being done right now to remove what's left of the bridge deck. Now, Governor Moore saying afterward his focus is having this project done quickly, safely, and responsibly with taxpayer dollars. We also got an update on the progress and learned what's next in the process.
Seeing it from this perspective is breathtaking.
The view from the top of what's left of the Francis Scott Key Bridge is sobering, and one only engineers and construction crews have seen since the bridge collapsed in March of last year.
To now be here at a time where a little over a year after this horrific tragedy, that we are now already, not just in the demo phase, but planning on the construction phase starting later on this year.
Demolition of the Key Bridge is underway.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Governor Moore, along with state and local leaders and engineers involved in this phase of the rebuild, walked the South Causeway, getting an up-close view of the demolition as large blocks of concrete were ripped from the bridge deck. So far, barriers have been removed, and in about a month, they'll begin driving test piles for the new bridge into the river.
There's a frame that is a load testing frame that is very big as well. That's being fabricated as we speak.
Asked about alleged comments made by Elon Musk claiming regulations are slowing the rebuild process, Governor Moore says they were able to get a category exclusion.
So we're actually able to speed up the process faster than a project of this size and enormity could ever possibly imagine. And so for anyone who is for Elon Musk to say that there are things stopping us, I would just say Elon Musk has not been a part of this process.
Senator Chris Van Hollen says the Bridge Act set in stone full federal funding for the rebuild.
And that is secure funds. We put the funds earmarked essentially within what's called the Emergency Relief Fund, and we increased the Federal Emergency Relief Fund to $8 billion.
Governor Moore says the state has invested billions into bridge protection and maintains every bridge in the state is up to code. Demolition is on schedule and expected to take 9 months. The new bridge is expected to open in the fall of 2028. From the Francis Scott Key Bridge, I'm Jenyne Donaldson for WBAL TV 11 News.